Hi, I'm Dick Wagner with the Crest Network. We're going to have a presentation about sales prospecting the right way, and this is part 2 of a 4-part series. Sales prospecting the right way with all of the different segments. This particular one will cover time management, getting a maybe from your client, and what the risks are that your prospect or your client might be struggling with. There has to be first a winning strategy. You're going to have both reactive strategies and proactive strategies. Goals and quotas that you're going to be expected to achieve, those are probably going to be laid on you by your boss or your supervisor. And then proactive strategies are the measures that you take yourself to achieve the actions that you want. Ultra-high sales performers target both the activities and the skills that you need. Some of those skills will include your opening introduction, the research and homework and intel that you perform, your communication, the what you say and speak and interact with your client, the best way to use time management and why time management matters. Some skills also include your ability to listen, and that's a really hard one for most of us. You're going to need to have good writing skills, even if it's simply to respond in an email or a text to your prospect or your client. Yes, it's going to involve some computer skills, and there are books, there are classes, there are ways that you can get better with your computer skills, because they're going to be vital in the sales process in this day and age. And you better be completely involved in what you're doing in that sales process. In these 8 or 7 or 8 different bullet points, they're just some of the basic required ingredients for the sales process. The difference between being involved and being committed is the difference between ham and eggs. Folks, you understand the chicken's involved because they're laying an egg. But as far as the ham or the bacon is concerned, the pig's committed. Really, really, really committed. Yes, getting a yes, it's great. Certainly no's can be disappointing, especially when we're thinking that the no is the end of the line. You're going to learn in another segment that no's aren't as bad as you might think. The ones that I think are really bad are the maybes and sometimes a non-legitimate yes. The maybes are going to kill you because the maybes consume your time. They keep you on the edge of your seat. They keep you out of breath. They keep you thinking that something is really going to happen down the road. And the fact is that it distracts you from what's really important. Maybes let your prospects slide without giving you any kind of a commitment. And so the bottom line here, a maybe usually means no. It's really important that you sell your credibility before you try to sell your services. Selling your credibility is done by knowing intel, knowing details about the prospect. And I mean details that include both some personal information and some business information. Selling your credibility means knowing details about their company, their organization, knowing details about their industry, knowing details about the products and or services that they sell, that they make available to the public. I'm a big fan of being proactive with my client list. Proactive sales matrix is something that each of you should embrace and then create. You should take all of your potential prospects, and I go right down the list. If you've got 100 of them, then go right down the list of that 100 and identify them as a hot prospect, which is an A warm prospect, which means you have a 50-50 chance of selling them. That could be a B. And then the cool prospect, or a C prospect. I don't mean cool as in, hey, cool dude. I mean cool as in probably cold, probably highly unlikely that you're going to convert them. And you should always be striving to raise your C's to B's and your B's up to an A or a hot prospect. The perfect percentage, or if you will, the perfect right mix of prospects going into your funnel, 65% ought to be A's. The majority of your prospects should be hot prospects. About 25% of them, it's okay to have those as B's. That means you're probably going to convert some of them. You just have to keep working and trying. And only about 10% ought to be a C prospect. In other words, you should never have more than 10 out of 100 in the C list. And those are like kind of highly unlikely, remote possibilities, but you've got a few there in case you can convert one or two of those up into the B category. The goal is to always have prospects in the top of your funnel. The ideal goal is to have 65% of them be A prospects. Every one of your prospects is considering, struggling with, dealing with the potential risks of doing business with you. They might be struggling with competitive risks, as in, should I do business with you or should I do business with this person's competition? Is their pricing in the right category? Is it the right pricing, or is it too high priced? Or even worse, is it too low priced that I really feel that it's a risk? There could be geographic risks. What would that be? You want to sign up a client that knows that your corporate operation is 80 miles from their facility. Boy, that's not ideal for immediate response time. There could be political risks, product risks, people risks, basic business risks. Will this go smoothly? And then there are always the legal risks. If I commit to this, to doing business with this salesman, am I putting myself in a bad situation? There's always risks involved. And whatever the challenge is, wherever you're headed in trying to remove those risks, it's really about value, action, and time. It's about what's the value that they'll get and what is the action that they have to put forth. In other words, the effort. What's the action that they have to put forth in order to make this a good deal for everybody? And also, what's the time involved? How much time are they going to have to invest in order for you to sell them? The next segment, segment number 3, is once again about time management. It's briefly about speaking their language. It's selling to their values. We want to talk about selling results, not selling stuff. And we want to talk about selling change, how you get them to change and like it. So I appreciate the few minutes you've spent with me today. I hope you'll watch the next segment. This is part 2 of part 4. Be sure to watch parts 3 and 4. Remember, as a Crest Elite member, you always have personal access and coaching to both Bill Giannone and myself. I'm Dick Wagner. Thanks for watching the Crest Network video.